Disney's adaptation of Hans Christian Andersen's work was not the first of its kind, having adapted The Little Mermaid in 1996. In The Snow Queen, Andersen's titular character was the villain of the famous tale, stealing away a young human boy as his best friend embarks on an icy adventure to rescue him. It doesn't sound like your typical Disney princess adventure, and the original story is quite dark. However, the same can be said for The Little Mermaid, which was a huge success for Disney after its family-friendly changes. The filmmakers decided to focus on the human qualities of the villainous Snow Queen for Frozen, transforming her from someone cold and wicked to the troubled and isolated princess of Arendelle. They also added the character of Anna as the Queen's sister, and from there the story became something quite different and more human. Instead of focusing on the typical tropes of Disney princess stories, the film focused on sisterly love and self-acceptance, even gently mocking the previous true love angle of earlier films. Frozen introduced a complexity to the Disney princess series, in creating a character that was both hero and villain, and emphasizing a theme of self-acceptance and self-love that really resonated with audiences. Until streaming became mainstream, a lot of Disney animated sequels tended to go straight to DVD or television, especially in the princess series. Therefore, when Frozen was popular enough to warrant a second cinematic feature, this was a huge win for the studio and audiences. This sequel was announced in 2015, after Frozen had already been announced to launch on Broadway, a permanent Frozen-based attraction was planned in Epcot, and the Frozen characters were introduced to the third season of live-action series Once Upon a Time. Its popularity among audiences was completely unexpected and immense. Then, in November 2019, Frozen 2 was released. In short, Frozen 2 is about Elsa hearing an ethereal voice calling to her from the enchanted forest, where she discovers her new destiny as protector of the forest. Anna fearlessly follows her sister, emphasizing their strong bond from the first film, and later becomes Queen of Arendelle when Elsa steps down. Along the way, they free some trapped people and learn a little more about their family history. Simple, right? Well, kind of. It's when you dive a little deeper into the story that cracks begin to show. Here are some examples. Why did Elsa's mother keep her history secret? Did anyone question why the new king then married a mysterious foreign girl? If Elsa's mother's heroic act led to Elsa getting her powers, why did the water spirit kill their mother Iduna? Likewise, why did Iduna appear to Elsa in the cave? Was this some kind of manipulation to get Elsa to accept her place as protector of the forest? Or is this truly Iduna's ghost guiding Elsa to the same dangerous water spirit that killed Iduna and her husband? Why is the dam a deal breaker for the spirits when it doesn't seem to affect the Northuldrans? If the dam was the Arendalians' way of oppressing the Northuldrans, why did the king also want to start a physical fight with them? If the spirits were so impressed by Iduna saving Agnar, why did they lock away the forest and only seek freedom 34 years later? What did the spirits hope to achieve in locking away the forest, and why did they not destroy the dam themselves? Why does Elsa come back to life when the dam is broken? Did the voice know it would cause the spirits to create chaos in Arendelle? How are the spirits causing chaos in Arendelle and preventing the townspeople from returning to their homes, while the same spirits are still in Northuldra, interacting with and befriending our protagonists? Each spirit seems to be only one entity, but are all of the Earth Giants the Earth Spirits? There are more questions, but we'll get to those in a bit. The problem is there are too many questions, caused by confused writing and the removal of some significant scenes from the theatrical cut. Number 1. Where did the narrative problems start? In the Disney docuseries, which charted the making of Frozen 2, aptly called Into the Unknown, they showed some of the deleted scenes and songs that were cut from the final version of the film. Through these extras, it's revealed that the original theme of the film was discovering the truth, and many of the outtakes reflect this theme, including one where the Knock tries to drown Kristoff until he reveals that he is secretly unhappy living in Arendelle. In the deleted song, I Seek the Truth, and a related deleted scene, Anna and Elsa find that their parents had been keeping secret their research into Elsa's powers, and were writing in the forbidden language of Northuldra. Arendelle would have been destroyed and rebuilt to be more inclusive of other races, and implied that the Northuldran culture would no longer be oppressed.
We'll rebuild the castle. New. No secrets, no deceit. New rules, even. All is as it should be.
It's possible that Frozen 2 would have included these more mature scenes to cater to its aging audience, but chose to remove them to simplify the overall narrative. The writers decided to cater to new viewers, young children who they thought would not like the darker scenes or understand the subtleties of exploring personal truths and secrets kept between family members. The main theme then became change, reflected in the autumn scenery and the new songs, Some Things Never Change and When I'm Older. It appears there are later added lines where Olaf reminds the audience of the theme of change, saying,
"You said some things never change, but since then, everything's done nothing but change." Did you know that an enchanted forest is a place of transformation? I have no idea what that means, but I can't wait to see what it's gonna do to each one of us.
Despite this, the plotlines of this film are still concerned with truth, not change. The main drive to the plot is to find out why the spirits are keeping themselves locked away in the forest, which leads Anna and Elsa to find out the truth behind the dam and what started the war between their people.
We would have never attacked first.
May the truth be found.
Furthermore, Elsa discovers beautiful moments in time that reveal truths about the past, which may be joyful and nostalgic, but some of them horrifying and tragic. If the theme had originally been change, we would expect one of the characters to perhaps go through a substantial physical or emotional change, and then explore how it affects the characters. Instead, Elsa finds out the truth that she has always been the fifth spirit. She does not change into it nor develop any substantial character growth because of this reveal, only changing her address at the end of the film. The theme still seems to be about discovering the truth and the effect it has on the characters and their acceptance of others. I'll hand over to my co-writer on this video, Kelda, to take the reins on the next bit.
Question number 2. What happened to Anna and Kristoff? In Frozen, Anna and Kristoff's relationship developed gradually over the course of the film and ended with their first kiss. The couple did not rush into a proposal to draw a contrast with the deceitful relationship between Anna and Hans. What Frozen 2 does right is to suggest that Anna and Kristoff are now ready to think about marriage. It has actually been 3 years between the films, and their relationship has been slowly developing and growing. Unfortunately, the proposal storyline is delivered really poorly, with misunderstanding and conflict to elongate the storyline and create drama. To make matters worse, Anna and Kristoff now have little impact to the plot, and there is an abrupt change to how their personalities are portrayed. In Frozen, Anna is known to the audiences as capable, daring, and headstrong.
Anna? No, I have my powers to protect me. You don't.
Excuse me, I climbed the North Mountain, survived a frozen heart, and saved you from my ex-boyfriend, and I did it all without powers. So, I'm coming.
Me too.
However, in the first 2 acts of Frozen 2, Anna simply reacts to the actions of those around her. When Elsa says she's going somewhere, Anna follows. When Elsa does something dangerous, Anna tells her off. And when Kristoff makes misled attempts to propose to her, Anna jumps to some ridiculous conclusions.
Anna, remember our first trip like this when I said you'd have to be crazy to want to marry a man you just met?
Wait, what? Crazy? You didn't say I was crazy. You think I'm crazy?
No. Under different circumstances, this would be a pretty romantic place, don't you think?
Different circumstances? You mean like with someone else?
What? No. I'm saying, just in case we don't make it out of here.
Wait, what? You don't think we're gonna make it out of here?
No, we will make it out of here. Well, technically the odds are kind of complicated, but my point is, in case we die...
You think we're gonna die?
No, we will die at
Where's
some
Elsa?
point. Not in
I
any
swore
recent
that I wouldn't
time
leave
will
her
we die.
side.
In these scenes, the audience is made to believe that Kristoff is going about this the wrong way, but Anna is as much at fault, overreacting to everything he says very abruptly and urgently. It makes Anna seem paranoid and insecure. We know that Anna feels anxious about her sister, but she has similar concerns in the first film, and we never saw her act like this before. In the third act, Anna faces the loss of her sister and motivates herself to do what has to be done in the next right thing. This song has been praised for its honest portrayal of depression and does lead to a powerful action from Anna, destroying the dam with the giants. This move takes a lot of courage, but we as audience members know Anna can be brave and proactive from her actions in the first film. It's just a shame that we have to spend so much of the sequel with an Anna who is not proactive at all. Anna then takes the throne at Arendelle with seemingly no motivation to do so. The deleted song Home would have told us that Anna valued her townspeople and wanted to do something more for them.
I wanna give them more. They're my home. My home. Bless this happiness we found. Bless this good and solid ground. Our home. Our home.
In another deleted scene, Elsa would have shown her sister a magical memory where the parents said they believed in Anna and her capacity to help others.
If anyone can find a way to help her, it's Anna.
You may be right about that. There's not much that girl can't do.
Her love could hold up the world.
Lucky for the world. Okay, we'll tell her when we return.
Which led Elsa to suggest that Anna takes the throne in her absence. When these scenes were removed, test screen viewers were left scratching their heads, wondering why Anna was seen as the queen at the end of the film. Consequently, a short line was added that does not fully replace these scenes.
The spirits all agree. Arendelle deserves to stand with you.
Me?
You did what was right. For everyone.
In the first film, Kristoff is Anna's opposite, an outdoorsman who feels anxious around others.
Reindeers are better than people. Sven, don't you think that's true?
Despite their differences, Kristoff is charmed by Anna's optimism and tenacity. Kristoff is seen as a thoughtful person who pushes Anna to seek support from others and reflect on her decision. Sadly, in the second film, Kristoff's hesitance and shyness are ramped up to 11 and used for comic relief. Kristoff is made the laughingstock for missing the fact that it's not a good time to propose. His partner is facing life and death situations in this forest and making horrific discoveries about her family. And yet he just keeps asking and has no other purpose to his character in this film. To make matters worse, his dialogue is just awful. Nobody would say this.
Just in case we don't make it out of here.
Wait, what? You don't think we're gonna make it out of here?
No, I mean, we will make it out of here. Well, technically the odds are kind of complicated, but my point is, in case we die...
You think we're gonna die?
No, we will die at
Where's
some point.
Elsa?
Not in
I
any
swore that I
recent
wouldn't
time
leave
will
her
we die,
side.
but just way far in the
Elsa?
future, we will die.
Yeesh. When Anna leaves him behind, Kristoff sings Lost in the Woods. This song was inspired by rock love ballads and is therefore deeply introspective. It's a great song that shares the frustration I feel on Kristoff's behalf when Anna repeatedly fails to consider his needs. But we think this song takes it too far. Kristoff sings about how he has to hide his feelings when Anna is facing dangers without him.
You had to go, and of course it's always fine.
He's considering the devastation he would feel if the relationship ended and it suggests an unhealthy dependence on Anna.
Who am I if I'm not your guy? Where am I if we're not together forever?
This song implies that Kristoff has changed drastically from a shy but independent ice harvester in the first film to someone who loses his entire sense of self without his partner. Following Lost in the Woods, audiences likely expect that Kristoff has learned he should share his worries with Anna and work out where the relationship goes from there. However, when the song ends, it seems that Kristoff's epiphany is that he should just do whatever Anna wants and tell her nothing of his concerns. Instead of the heart-to-heart we expect, the filmmakers insert this tiny conversation to reassure you everything is fine.
I'm sorry I left you behind. I was just so desperate to protect her.
I know, it's okay. My love is not fragile.
Kristoff's sincere feelings of being ignored and lost without Anna are now gone. Anna can continue to take him for granted. Kristoff, in summary, has learned that it's okay if you're ignored or misunderstood. Just sing to yourself. Wait for your girlfriend to give you a flimsy apology and just keep trying to propose. When Kristoff finally pops the question, it should feel exciting and fulfilling, but to me it feels exhausting and meaningless. Originally, there was a fantastic song for their proposal, Get This Right.
I wanna get this right, baby. I wanna thrill you in the way you deserve.
This song is such a bop and has some hilarious lines.
Ooh, here's the thing, I've got a ring I didn't bring. Oh shoot! So this went very well. Good night.
Please go watch it in full after this video. Kaylin will probably put a link in the description below. The proposal in Get This Right does not go as Kristoff had planned, and it is actually Anna who pops the question when she sees how hard Kristoff is trying. This is a faithful portrayal of these characters as an anxious man and a willful woman who go about showing their love in different ways, but in the end they love each other just as they are. Sadly, Get This Right was cut a year before the premiere, so in their last-minute rewrite to work the proposal into the story and give us more comic relief, the filmmakers gave us this.
You think I'm crazy?
No.
The same tired, humorless gag multiple times throughout the film. Thanks, I hate it. If this deleted song had been included, Anna and Kristoff would have taken on the conflicts of the film as an engaged couple, although not everything was perfect. A later deleted scene shows Olaf, Anna and Kristoff trying to befriend the water horse Nock by riding on its back and telling it their deepest secrets, which in itself is better because Kristoff would have been more involved in advancing the plot than he is in the theatrical cut. To quell the Nock, Kristoff has to reveal his unhappiness with his life in Arendelle that he had kept from Anna.
Do you even like your life in Arendelle at all? Just tell me the truth!
No! I don't like my life in Arendelle!
It's really hard for Anna to hear this, and a source of discord between the couple. This conflict would have been more meaningful, as many of us have experienced the pain of trying to share a life with a loved one so different from yourself. So the outtakes suggest Anna and Kristoff would have been a couple who celebrated and complemented each other's character traits, but had struggles that were human and understandable to the adults in the audience. Their relationship would have been so much more relatable to all those in similar relationships between introverts and extroverts, such as myself and my husband. However, these meaningful conflicts were replaced by easy, shallow resolutions and comic relief in order to keep the focus on Disney's real moneymaker, Elsa. What was the next question, Kaylin?
Number 3. Why did they split up Elsa and Anna?
Promise me we do this together, okay?
I promise.
The most prominent theme from the first film was that of sisterhood and sibling bonding. It was the love between the sisters, Anna and Elsa, that saved Anna's life and helped Elsa truly control her powers and defeat the bad guy. Anna relentlessly tracked down her sister, whom she had been isolated from for years, to get her home because she was so keen for a meaningful relationship with Elsa. Anna never gave up on Elsa, even when Elsa appeared to be the villain of the story. Elsa, in turn, learned to bring down her walls and reconnect with her sister. It was this love and hope that reunited them in the end and kept them together. Despite the sisters sharing the spotlight throughout the original film, Elsa's extravagant dresses and ice powers made her much more popular than her sister. In the US, over 1,000 babies were born with the previously obscure name Elsa in the year after Frozen's release, whereas the name Anna barely rose in popularity. In toy shops across the world, 2 Elsa dolls were sold for every Anna doll. This incredible and unexpected popularity for Elsa put pressure on the writers to come up with a story that explored Elsa above any other character and independently from her beloved but less exceptional sister. The very first teaser trailer for Frozen 2 sought to fulfill the audience's longing by prominently featuring Elsa facing the North Sea alone, before adding in some clips of the other characters at the end. Frozen 2 reintroduces young Anna and Elsa in a really sweet scene that reminds the audience how close these sisters are meant to be. Not long after this, the audience is shown a montage of Arendelle celebrating autumn and the sisters embracing. This is then followed by a rather awkward scene of Anna somehow not understanding Elsa's half-hearted charades attempt. It seems to indicate a divide between the close sisters, poor communication that should not be there. Elsa doesn't tell Anna about the mysterious voice until Arendelle is in chaos, despite everything they've been through.
I didn't want to worry you.
We made a promise not to shut each other out. Just tell me what's going on.
As we said before, Anna has a single-minded focus on following and protecting Elsa. The risks Anna takes to be with Elsa escalate throughout the film, with total disregard for Kristoff's wishes and her own safety.
You could have been killed. You can't just follow me into fire.
You don't want me to follow you into fire, then don't run into fire.
Elsa doesn't want this either, and tries to tell Anna that she needs some space. Anna has always been the sister that fights for them to be together, and the sisterly bond is very important to the series. However, now Anna's character has turned into an extreme of herself, almost to parody levels, and suggests that she has an unhealthy dependence on Elsa. When they discover the shipwreck, Elsa finds out that her parents died seeking the answers to her powers. This reminds Elsa that Anna could also be harmed in helping her, and ultimately is why she sends her away. It's frustrating for the audience to once again see Elsa pushing away her loved ones and hurting them in the process.
And you have every right to be very, very mad at her.
Elsa does not appear to consider whether her sister would be in as much danger without her, which is reflected in the following scenes where Anna and Olaf face the giants and are stuck in a cave with no way out. Elsa embarks to Ahtohallan alone and faces dangers such as the knock that only she would be able to overcome. The audience is led to believe that Elsa is right. Anna cannot follow her on this journey. Then, just as Anna feared, Elsa does go too far and sacrifices herself trying to share the information she discovered with her sister. This leaves a confusing message for the audience. Should the sisters stay together, or are they better apart? Once Anna has destroyed the dam and Elsa has saved Arendelle, everyone rejoices in being freed from the forest and the spirits are at peace. Elsa then decides to
keep looking after the forest,
which is actually very vague, because the forest doesn't appear to be at any risk or in danger, and also pretty well equipped in looking after itself. At the start of the film, Elsa is distracted from her royal duties, and sings about her longing for adventure, into the unknown.
Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be.
However, the audience is likely to be confused because Elsa is also shown to be reliant on her sister's counsel and in need of her support. It seems that the writers wanted Anna to have the throne in Arendelle, so Elsa had to be removed. To be blunt, they could have killed Elsa in Ahtohallan with a heroic sacrifice, or had her stay to keep the Nethuldrins safe from the still angry spirits, or even stay to be with Honeymaren. But any of these choices would have been a risky move for Disney, so the actual reason is left open to interpretation. The conclusion of Frozen 2 has the sisters forging separate lives and duties. Elsa stays in Nethuldra, and Anna takes her place as the Queen of Arendelle. Their motivations for their new roles and in leaving each other is not fully explained to the audience. Their separation stands in stark contrast to the concluding message of the previous film, that the sisters have a special sisterly bond and can support each other through anything. Another problem is that it suggests that Anna is wrong for fighting for the two of them to stay together, no matter what, throughout both movies. Handing over again to Kelda.
Question number 4. What does it even mean to be the fifth spirit? The fifth spirit is first mentioned when Honeymaren and Elsa are discussing Ahtohallan and looking at her mother's shawl by the campfire.
Look, there's a fifth spirit, said to be a bridge between us and the magic of nature.
When Elsa tells Anna about this, she says that the voice that calls her must be the fifth spirit. Anna also comes to the conclusion that Elsa and her powers must be a gift to her parents because her mother saved their father, who was her enemy. Still, Elsa must discover her connection to the voice and the fifth spirit. Elsa continues to Ahtohallan and discovers that the voice that has been calling her throughout the film is her mother, Iduna. Elsa also sees her beloved parent for the first time since her passing. Elsa then learns that the fifth spirit is herself and sings about self-discovery and acceptance in Show Yourself. This song is reminiscent of Let It Go, which also had Elsa finding out who she really was for herself. Show Yourself could never live up to the cultural phenomenon of Let It Go, but it is still an emotional, beautiful song that does not leave a dry eye in the cinema. Elsa's revelations in Show Yourself throw up so many questions about spirits and powers that the film does not bother to answer. Why are only 4 pillars and 4 diamonds representing spirits seen in previous scenes when a 5th element seems to be crucial for the spirits? How is Iduna calling her daughter to Ahtohallan, and why now? Did Iduna know that her daughter was born the 5th spirit? Who was the 5th spirit Honeymaren mentions that existed before Elsa was born? What happened to that spirit? Shouldn't spirits be immortal? What does it even mean to be the 5th spirit? The audience is led to believe that Elsa's role as the 5th spirit gives her the ability to calm the other 4 spirits. However, her power set is not one that suggests she can bring together earth, fire, wind, and water. In fact, ice is water. Furthermore, we're led to believe that the 5 spirits can be as diverse as a single fire salamander, a mortal human, and several giants made of rock. The docuseries Into the Unknown reveals that the filmmakers actually couldn't decide if the voice calling Elsa was Elsa herself, Ahtohallan, or her mother until about 6 months before the deadline, which led to a complete rewrite of the song Show Yourself. It also seems that they had not decided that Elsa would be the 5th spirit until later rewrites. A deleted scene of Anna and Elsa finding their parents' research suggests a different origin for Elsa's powers. The lore behind the previous film was inspired by the Snow Queen and could be summed up in a few words. It seems that the writers wanted to go for something deeper with their sequel, and some of this is done well through the lullaby All Is Found. But the writers clearly did not understand their own lore when it came to the spirits. Back to the movie buff, Kaylin.
Number 5. Why do the stakes feel so low in this film? Despite Elsa and Anna going on yet another grand adventure, with new characters and insight into Elsa's powers, the stakes feel underwhelmingly low. The audience is told that Elsa is the cause of this chaos, as her curiosity has awakened the spirits. And the chaos seems to result in Arendelle being in trouble, which is just a repeat of the danger of the first film, which had Arendelle threatened by an endless winter. Even so, the city never seems to be in any real danger, and once again, we don't actually spend a lot of time in it. The filmmakers reintroduced the audience to Arendelle by showing the happy folk of the town at their autumn festival in the song Some Things Never Change, before the spirits endanger their town. There's even a chance to see Oaken here, from the first film, wandering around the town, although he doesn't have any lines. There are no other named townspeople in the film to make us sympathise with their plight. The cut song, Home, could have been really useful in further establishing the strong bonds of the people of Arendelle through Anna's love for her home.
Hey, come here. Take this coin and go buy a custard bun for everyone. Okay. It's not creepy because I know her.
In the theatrical cut, other than it being where Anna and Elsa live, the audience have no reason to have an emotional reaction when the town is nearly destroyed. Within the Enchanted Forest, a magical mist has trapped the Northuldrons and the remaining Arendelle soldiers for 34 years. Commander Matthias mentions missing a lady friend back in Arendelle, but there isn't much to indicate returning to Arendelle is a dream come true or a priority for these soldiers. Young Northuldrons were born since the spirits locked them in, and may long for something different.
Some of us were born in here. We've never even seen a clear sky.
But for most of the Northuldrons, their urgency to escape has only waned over the long years. In fact, other than the icy relations between the two peoples and the rest of spirits, they seem to be getting on fine being cut off from the world. The deleted song See the Sky was the last to be cut from the film, and would have filled this role telling us why both the Northuldrons and Arendellian soldiers needed Elsa's help to be freed from the forest. Before they were trapped, the Arendellians, led by Anna and Elsa's grandfather, built the Northuldrons a dam by their settlement. At first, we're led to believe that the dam was a peace offering that would strengthen the people of Northuldra. Throughout the film, Anna and the audience are reminded that breaking the dam would destroy Arendelle, as it lies downstream of the same fjord. Then, Elsa discovers through Atahallen that the dam was built by the Arendellians as a selfish act to control and oppress the Northuldrons.
King Runard, the dam isn't strengthening our waters, it's hurting the forest. It's cutting off the north.
Let's not discuss.
Anna receives the memory of her grandfather striking an unarmed Northuldron and somehow immediately concludes that destroying the dam would appease the spirits. The Northuldrons knew that the dam was a gift from their enemies and was completed shortly before the spirits locked them in, but they can't be blamed for not making the connection between the dam and their predicament, because it makes no sense. The dam is not shown to have any impact on their agriculture or water supply. It would be more logical for the spirits to want the peoples to form an alliance than for them to destroy a dam that is apparently not even hurting anyone. Also, if that's what the spirits wanted, why didn't they say so? The Northuldrons are in touch with the spirits and nature and would follow their wishes.
We only trust nature when nature speaks. We listen.
In the end, the stakes were even lower than we thought, because nobody was harmed by the dam being destroyed. Anna knew that there was no risk to the townspeople because they had already been evacuated. Not even the buildings were affected, because Elsa swoops in at the last minute to deflect the water in a physics-breaking but beautiful scene. A deleted scene reveals that the filmmakers were originally going to destroy the buildings, and there are art books depicting the Northuldran architecture that would be included in the rebuilding, bringing their cultures together. This serves a similar purpose to the statue that is unveiled at the end, but has Arendellians pay a price for the wrongdoings of their previous leaders, which would bring more meaning to the conclusion of this film. But, in the end, Disney decided this was not the conclusion they wanted to leave with their audiences. In conclusion, it's hard to strike lightning twice, and sequels are famous for tending to fail at recapturing the magic of the original. Frozen 2 is riddled with indecision and confused plotlines that do not hold up when actually thought out. Everything from the spirits to the proposal has suffered last-minute rewrites that have affected the way the audience interprets and connects with this film. Frozen was praised for establishing characters that had close supportive connections, but the sequel has warped these relationships and suggests that the characters have an unhealthy dependence on each other. The deleted scenes show a very different film that was more interested in continuing these close relationships and following more mature story beats. However, Frozen 2 is aware that much of its audience are young and enjoy the more goofy humour, familiar characters, all wrapped up in beautiful settings with groundbreaking animation, which the film does deliver on. It's just unfortunate for the adults in the audience, who were expecting another family-friendly masterpiece with something for everyone.